Alright, so hello everyone, welcome to another Warframe video, and I once again have some really good news, because DE Bear posted a dev workshop on Friday about Nightwave Season 2 and the changes they've already decided on. And spoiler alert, they're pretty good! Now, there are sort of 6 points in this workshop, and the first one is playing catch-up, stored and missed acts. So, they're trying to introduce a catch-up system with Nightwave Season 2, and from what I understand, the way it's gonna work is once you finish all the weekly and elite weekly challenges for 1 week, if there were any weekly or elite weekly challenges that you missed last week, they will start popping up so you can finish them the next week instead. And that probably came out a little bit more complicated than I wanted, so let's just give an example. So, let's just say on week 1, you miss one of the new weekly challenges, which is complete 3 Kuva Siphon missions. What you can do then is complete all the weekly and elite weekly challenges on week 2, after which the complete 3 Kuva Siphon missions challenge will pop up again. Also, they did specify that this will only apply to the elite weekly challenges as well as the standard weekly challenges. Point number 2, degrindification. So what's going to be happening is instead of having 7 weekly challenges and 3 elite weekly challenges, like in Season 1, we will have 5 weekly challenges and 2 elite weekly challenges in Season 2. Now, at first glance, this might sound like they're just drawing it out so you have to do the Nightwave for longer to get the final rewards, but that's not the case, because they are also increasing the amount of reputation you get per challenge. Point number 3, changes to existing acts. So based on our feedback, they decided to change or just downright remove some of the challenges from Season 1. So they're completely removing the complete with a clanmate or a friend challenge. This is good for people that just like to play alone or just don't have a clan and or friends in the game. Then there is also some degrindification, so the 5 sorties challenge will go down to only 3 sorties, the 60-minute survival challenge will go down to 30 minutes, and the Socket 5 Ayatan Sculpture challenge will go down to 3. And this is actually kind of interesting because they talked about this specific challenge in a previous post and they were like, yeah, this one is too RNG dependent, so I expected them to remove it completely, but instead they lowered the requirement from 5 to 3. Then there are 2 that seem to have been degrindified, but not really if you knew what you were doing, so the complete 10 perfect conservations has been changed to 6 different perfect conservations, so if you knew how to perfectly capture all pulbers, for example, this is now actually going to take you longer because you can't do that anymore, and the finished 10 bounties has been reduced to 5 different bounties. And once again, especially in Fortuna, if you knew what you were doing, you could do this incredibly fast by simply bomb rushing the stage 2 of the Profit Taker bounty, which you won't be able to do anymore once again because you have to do different bounties instead. And finally, we have the Sanctuary Onslaught challenge, which went from complete 3 rounds in Sanctuary Onslaught to complete 8 rounds. So that one is going to take a little bit longer, not by much though, because 8 rounds is not that bad. Point number 4, new acts. So they're adding 4 new daily acts, which is going to be find 5 syndicate medallions, transmute 12 mods, deploy an air support charge in a mission, and pet your Kubro or Kavat. Very important, and I do hope this works for the charger as well. They're also adding 2 new weekly challenges, which is going to be complete 3 Kuva Siphon missions and complete 3 different K-Drive races in Orvalis. That sounds pretty cool. And finally, there's also 1 new elite weekly challenge, which is going to be complete a spy mission using your operator, where your Warframe cannot leave the spawn room. That one actually sounds awesome. Point number 5, the emissary, and the best way to go through this is to just read it. That makes the most sense. Of course, a new series means a new Nightwave story. We don't want to spoil too much, but we'll also be changing the way the story interacts with the world. Episode 2 will have more interactivity with the players in new ways, expanding out and growing as the episode progresses. We are excited for you to see what you make of the new story. And finally, point number 6, the Wolf. So they want to introduce the Wolf, which was the mini-boss from Season 1 of Nightwave, into the game as a permanent assassin that will have a small chance of spawning in a mission that will grow larger and larger and larger as you take on high-level missions. In addition to this, they'll also be adding Wolf Beacons to Barrow, so if you want to farm him more directly, you'll be able to just buy beacons and spawn him in. And that is it for the current version of the dev workshop on Nightwave changes for Season 2. To me, it sounds really good. I'm a little bit worried about the guild and format challenges because I really didn't like those in Season 1, but everything I've read through is good. I'm particularly happy about the way they decided to handle the catch-up mechanic because that can really hurt a game. Like, for example, one of the main reasons why I stopped playing World of Warcraft is because the catch-up systems they introduced were far better than actually doing the content when it was relevant. They just made it too easy to not play current content and just wait for a month and then do the catch-up mechanic, which would take infinitely less time. This, on the other hand, I think is pretty good, especially since we will have fewer Nightwave challenges every week, so there's a much higher chance that you will finish all of them and then you can catch up on any of the ones that you've missed last week. But anyway, I think I've been rambling for long enough, so I thank you very much for watching. As always, guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.